What if I told you that there's one spice that's been sitting in your kitchen cabinet, probably for years, that could help with inflammation, acne, anxiety, bad breath, maybe even sleep? And no, I'm not talking about turmeric. Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm a keto coach and a certified advocate through the Metabolic Terrain Institute of Health. I am passionate about helping men and women suffering from metabolic issues reclaim their health and vitality through lifestyle changes. So I've been diving deep into the research lately, especially around inflammation. And I started noticing this spice popping up everywhere. You know how when you buy a new car, suddenly everyone seems to be driving the same one? Yeah, it's like that. Then I found a few resources saying some pretty profound things about it, and finally stumbled across a recipe for a DIY extract with so many possible uses. And I thought, okay, this might be something worth trying. So I'm testing it out, and I wanted to share it with you too in case you wanted to experiment with me. So the spice that I'm talking about is cloves. So first off the bat, this isn't me saying, oh my God, this changed my life overnight, because I just started using it. But I'm sharing it because I think it could be one of those small but powerful habits that quietly upgrades your health in the background. So today I'm gonna walk you through what I've learned, how I made it, and how I plan to use it in my routine for things like anxiety, clearer skin, oral health, maybe even better sleep. So let's nerd out for a second. Cloves are the dried flower buds from a tree called Syzygium aromaticum. They are loaded with a compound called eugenol, which is basically nature's anti-everything. It is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal, analgesic, pain relieving. It is anti-diabetic, which means it supports blood sugar regulation. One 2025 study published in BMC Complementary Medicine and Therapies showed that clove lowered post-meal blood sugar and supported insulin function. That's huge for anyone dealing with insulin resistance or prediabetes. And if you've ever had a toothache, you might already know the trick, right? You dab a little clove oil to ease the pain before your dentist visit. That's thanks to eugenol, the active compound in cloves, which has been used in dental care for decades because of its natural numbing and antibacterial powers. Now, what really made me perk up is that cloves might do more than just freshen your breath. Studies show that they support liver health, digestion, and they might have neuroprotective and anti-aging effects. So here's how I made my clove water extract. I found this recipe from this herbalist and homeopath, Tim Goyechi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. It is a simple recipe, but it's very specific. So I used 2 quarts of purified water, 2 heaping tablespoons of organic whole clove buds. You want to put it in a pot with a solid lid so you don't want to have a lot of steam coming out. And you might need a colander or a cheesecloth or some kind of thing for straining. You want to use some glass jars for storage, and that's it. So for step 1, you're gonna add the cloves to the water in your pot. You're gonna cover the lid and bring it to a boil, and then reduce to a low simmer for about an hour. Then you'll turn off the heat and do not remove the lid. You wanna let it cool overnight. You can repeat this process again the next day, boil and then simmer for a more concentrated extract. Then you'll just strain it and transfer it into your glass jars. Don't skip the lid rule. You need to trap in all of those volatile oils in the water. All right, recipe is super easy. You're going to need some whole cloves, and you'll just need some filtered water. I'm going to use reverse osmosis water. That's what I have. And then you'll need some glass jars to store it in, and a measuring spoon to measure out your cloves. And that's it. So I'm gonna put the water in a pot. You'll need 2 liters of water. So let's fill her up. I have the water drop reverse osmosis filter. I kind of like it. It's been serving me well. You have to always remember to add some electrolytes back into your water. All right, we're gonna measure out 2 heaping tablespoons of cloves. And you want it to be whole cloves, like these. So whole cloves. You wanna make sure you have a tight fitting lid on your pot, and you're gonna put this on the stove and boil it for 1 hour. So we're gonna bring it to a boil. The lid stays on. Do not remove the lid at any point. You do not want oils to escape. So you wanna keep that lid firmly placed the entire time. All right, so it's fully cooled. So we're gonna strain it. So now that I have my batch, here's how I'm planning to use it. So you can make an oral spray. So I purchased and cleaned some spray bottles and transferred some of the clove water into these bottles. And I'm gonna put this in my bag, 2 or 3 spritzes for fresh breath and for antibacterial benefits. It can be used as an anxiety spritz. So for moments of stress or overwhelm, a few sprays under the tongue supposedly can calm the nervous system, so I'm still testing that out. You can use it as a face mist. I'll be using it as a skin spray to help with acne and inflammation, just misting on a little bit in the morning and in the evenings. So for sleep support, you can take 1 ounce dose before bed to see improvements in your sleep. One thing that I already do is I've been adding a few cloves to my golden milk every morning, along with cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, cardamom, fennel seeds. It's spicy, it's comforting, and it has lots of anti-inflammatory goodness. So that's another use for cloves if you'd like. Now, just because it's natural doesn't mean it's risk-free. So here are a few things I want you to keep in mind. This is not safe for kids under 12. It's not recommended if you are pregnant or nursing, and you want to keep this away from pets. So this clove water could be toxic to them. So if you're on blood thinners or on diabetic meds, you want to check with your provider first and make sure it's safe to use. And don't go overboard. Too much eugenol can irritate your gut and even affect your liver in high doses. So think potent, not pour it in your smoothie every day kind of thing. So I'm curious, have you ever used cloves outside of baking or your holiday ham? Are you intrigued by the idea of clove water? Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think or if you have tried it. And I've linked the recipe that I followed down in the description, along with a few research studies, so you can check it out and do your own digging. If you're on your own journey to heal inflammation, to balance your blood sugar, or just feel better in your body again, be sure to grab my guide and journal, Metabolic Mastery. It is packed with daily habits and simple changes to support your healing journey. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, cousin.